I probably partied too much as well, back in the 80s.
It's about 50 years of Iron Maiden and career-defining moments of every decade of the story. But you are kind of lucky because we skipped the 70s and start with the 80s when you joined Iron Maiden. This is one of the first photos, I guess, and one of the first moments that's you with the band in Japan.
Japan, yeah.
So, of course, you knew the guys before and you knew Iron Maiden like as a listener and a buddy and maybe a fan. And how was it to join them and travel to Japan, like in your first year being there?
It was incredibly exciting, you know. I know I've cut my hair really short here.
Like was it flattering or was it frightening maybe, doing such a great tour?
Yeah, I think I just kind of threw myself into it at first and just, it didn't really sink in, it happened so quickly. I just kind of threw myself in and got on with it. It was very exciting. I mean, going to Japan was mind-blowing. It was so different, you know. But that was it. I mean, once I was in, it was just go. You know, we just toured in studio. It was quite amazing.
So
it was fantastic.
So it was a running machine, and you joined and ran with them.
Exactly.
Okay, and then another one joined and ran with them. Bruce Dickinson joined. Yeah. This is the first photo session you did with Bruce, as far as I know.
Yeah.
What changed inside of the band when he joined? Did you realize something happening with him joining?
Yeah, Bruce is a very different character to Paul. He was very focused on his craft. You know, he was a singer and he took care of his voice. Bruce is Bruce, and he was probably a bit more professional. You know, he was a powerhouse. You know, Bruce could sing, you know, 6 nights in a row, and you know, just keep going and going. So that enabled the band to progress and you know, tour and you know, keep going. So that was, and this is taken opposite the offices of the management in London. Of course, we go to the pub to welcome the new guy. You know.
I see it. That's what I wanted to ask, if there have been any rituals to introduce him to the band. So it was the classic
rituals.
Yeah.
Not really. It was just having a beer. You know, I guess it's an English thing, probably a German thing as well. Well, nice shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah. What was it?
Leopard skin shirt.
You still got it?
Oh no, I don't think so. No. And this was the kids program. Yeah. Which was a very, all the grown-ups used to watch this because of the girl, Sally. She was a pretty girl, so everyone wanted to meet her, but yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
And you got covered in cake during...
Yeah, I don't think I was in there. I managed to escape that one, thank God. Yeah.
Okay. And then there was another guy joining, kind of, Eddie, joining the stage during the tour with the Beast on the Road tour. Do you remember whose idea was it to have Eddie as a person on stage?
Yeah, I think when I first joined, they had a couple of the road crew would come on with masks, just a leather jacket, just run around. And then, yeah, the first time they brought the monster on, I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know if I liked it or not. But the audience certainly did, you know. And yeah, we tour with, we opened up for Rainbow, because that's Richie Blackmore right now. I think that's the only time I actually saw Richie Blackmore off the stage. You never saw him off the stage. Like the other guys you'd see in the hotel bar or But Richie, he was a man of mystery. And of course, we all looked up to him because, you know, I grew up listening to Deep Purple, and all of a sudden we're on tour with, you know, but that's, like I say, that was incredible, the world I was thrown into, you know, from being a fan to being, you know, working alongside these people was almost on the same level. It was kind of mind-blowing. I don't know if I really adjusted to that. I've adjusted to it now, but it took me a long while to get my head around that.
I guess so.
You know, having Michael Schenker opening up for you know, and he was my guitar hero, you know. But anyway, yeah, Eddie.
Yeah. And Richard Blackmore left his room to meet Eddie
came
finally.
out. But according to Martin Birch, who was our producer, Richie liked the band, you know, and he encouraged Martin to produce us. He said, "You should produce that band. They're going to be big, you know." So that was quite cool.
So it really paid out playing before Rainbow because it connected you to Martin Birch. Yeah. Cool. Okay, then Nicko McBrain joined you in 1983 while recording Peace of Mind. So how did you get to know him? How did you recruit him back then? Do you remember?
Well, Nicko, it had been around again. I mean, he was. I was into a guitarist called Pat Travers, and Nick was in his band. So to me, Nick was like a rock star before I was, you know, in Iron Maiden. But one of the first tours we did with, first tours I did with Maiden, we had a band called Trust opening up, and Nicko was a drummer for Trust. And it was a weird combination because you had all these other guys, are very French, like Moroccan guys, and they didn't hardly speak English. And then you had this London guy on the drums. You know, it was a real intertone. We used to love to watch him. You know, the interaction between Nick and these other guys was hilarious. But Nick used to hang out a lot with us, obviously, because we were all from London. And he was one of the boys. He was a mate straight away. And we actually, when Clive was going through some problems, he couldn't do a TV show. I think it might have been here in Germany. And Nick came out to play a TV show. We were only miming, you know. But because Clive hadn't officially left the band, Nick wore an Eddie mask and played drums, and no one knew who it was. So that was a bit of a strange one. But yeah, I guess he was the obvious choice, you know, it seemed like.
And did his style of playing, of drumming, of course, it shaped Iron Maiden in the coming years? Did it also affect your guitar playing?
Yes, it did. I mean, Nick was a show on his own, you know. Very distinctive style. I suppose, yeah, you do. You play off, you know, whoever you're playing with affects your playing. Yeah. Nick's probably at one time. I thought he was probably technically the best player in the band, you know, because he had all the flashy chops, you know, as they call them. So, yeah, so Nicko, yeah, he was definitely made his mark, didn't he?
Absolutely.
And this was in Jersey, where we used to, in the Channel Islands, where we used to go to rehearse. Before every album we go there, and this must have been before Peace of Mind. Yeah, I remember that jacket.
I see.
It's funny you remember from items of clothing what year it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why was it Jersey back then? Why did you choose this particular place?
I guess it was a convenient location. It was a tax haven, you know. I guess, you know.
I see. Okay, then we are skipping some years and going to the 90s. And one person is missing on this photo, which is you.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I don't look very happy, do I?
you
must be missing me.
I guess they were, because you rejoined some years later. But looking back, was it the right decision to leave, to pause Iron Maiden back then, to, I don't know, grow as a musician in person maybe, or?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think I've said this a lot, but I needed something to do something else, and they needed new blood, because they were committed to being like the biggest metal band on the, that's what they wanted to be. And I was kind of holding them back. I wanted to try different things, and also I think the breaking point was, getting in the mobile recording unit, and I just didn't have any songs. I just couldn't come up with anything, and they were talking about going back to this raw sound. We'd just done Somewhere in Time and Seventh Son, and I thought production-wise it was progressing. We were becoming more refined and more, and then they wanted to go back to this kind of garagey thing. So that was the last straw for me. So I think it's the right thing. Absolutely. And I grew a lot out. When I was out of the band, I did a lot of things. I had a family, and I bought a house. I had nowhere to live, so I bought a house and had somewhere to live. And after being on the road for like 10 years, so I think it was a good thing for me, certainly. Yeah.
Did you know Yannick back then?
Yeah, I knew Yannick. I used to play football with him.
I see.
I knew he was in Gillen. So I knew him a bit. Yeah.
Okay, so it was a choice you were okay with, that Yannick would step into your footsteps?
Well, it's nothing to do with me. I mean, it was their decision, But I think it's obvious that the band always recruits from close. They don't sort of go and audition 500 guitarists or 500 drummers. It's like you go for people because I think probably personality is just as important as musical ability, because you have to coexist and work together in a tight space. So you got to, if you know the person a bit, it's better,
Absolutely. So you stepped out and did your own stuff. Did music, did your family, built a house, and then in the end of the 90s you rejoined together with Bruce. So how was that particular moment looking back? So was it like getting full circle? Wow. Yeah,
it was great. It was really great. You can see there I'm like really into it. I'm like, yeah, let's go. We did, we got together. We went to, it sort of developed. The stars sort of aligned, I guess. I think they wanted, it came about that Bruce was coming back in the band, and I don't know, I think Steve suggested having me back as well, and with 3 guitarists. So, I mean, at first I thought maybe I'll come back and maybe play a couple of songs, and then but I said no, let's just go all in and just do it. So that's what happened. So haven't looked back since, really.
Yeah, that's more than 25 years now, and
it seems like a couple of years. It's just incredible. But I was happy to rejoin, and I think I've changed a lot. I've grown up a lot. I think we probably all had a little bit. And the nice thing was I had an idea for the song Wicker Man, and we actually got together to play for the first time, and it was like, ooh. And somebody said, has anyone got any riffs? I said, yeah, I've got this. And we started playing it, and it sounded great. It was like, oh, yeah, okay. So that sort of eased me back into the fold kind of thing. And I've really enjoyed it, probably more so than the first time I was in a band, where it's all a little bit much, Mm-hmm. I probably partied too much as well back in the 80s. No, it was great to be back. And you know, it's great there's an expression, having a second bite of the cherry. You know, it's like you get another chance. So it's cool.
And first time, and since then with 3 guitarists, which made a big impact and a change, and I guess also a change in your playing style and how everybody is getting into it.
Well, my playing style changed a bit because when I wasn't in the band, I worked with different people, and I worked, probably the most important guy was when I did Bruce's solo albums, I worked with a guy called Roy Z, who was technically, you know, a monster, and he showed me some technical stuff that really improved my playing. So I felt more confident, I think, as a musician when I rejoined. You know, I was a bit more upfront. I believed in myself a bit more. I was always a bit shy before in the band, but no, it was a good thing.
So you came back stronger than before, and the band came back stronger than before, and it started a new era of success, which goes on until today, and which also brought you higher than ever with your own aeroplane, the Air Force One.
Yeah, people still think we travel around like this.
Yeah, because it really stuck into everybody's head, so it really was special then, and so special that nobody will ever forget it, I guess. So what about you? Will you ever forget touring in your own aeroplane?
No, that was pretty incredible, yeah. I wasn't really that into it at first because I thought, we're gonna have to travel, get up early, and because the crew's on there and they travel early, they have to get to the venue earlier than us, and you know. But it actually worked out all right. The only thing was, wherever we went, you know, there was TV crews and lots of fuss, lots of, you know, attention. And I think in the main, most of us don't really want that. We just want to get there, get on stage, do a thing, and then go into but this changed everything. I mean, it drew such a lot of attention. I suppose it was a good thing in a way, because it drew a lot of attention to the band, you know, all over the world. And people are still talking about it. When we landed at the airport, I might have even been in Berlin, and people going, where's the jumbo? Where's the 747? And we had just a little plane, you know. I said, well, no, this doesn't even exist anymore. I think it's been broken up now.
Yeah. I bought a part of it.
I think you can buy bits of it.
Yeah, I bought one.
A few things we had. The food was terrible at first, and I complained about that. But yeah, it was quite something.
And so it sounds like you don't really miss touring on a plane, and also enjoy like being on a tour bus now or whatever.
Tour buses, I mean, I think this is also at this stage we were still touring 8 months a year, 9 months a year, so it was hard. I mean, the last time we did that, we played in China, and we went right across the world. And I was just permanently jet lagged, you know, just felt like shit, permanently tired. In Shanghai, I walked in front of a bus. Someone pulled me out of the way, I would have died. I was so tired, I was just walking like this, and someone pulled me out of the way. And I just thought, I don't know if I can handle this. So then we started touring less, you know, and it's fun now. You know, we still put the same into the shows, but not for 6-8 months a year. You can't do that. We've done that, you know. But I enjoyed this. But in South America, for example, we'd land at an airport in Peru or wherever, and there'd be press, there'd be hundreds of people, you know, wanting photos. I used to think to myself, well, who's running the damn airport, you know? Because all the people that work in the airport, I mean, is anyone watching the sky out there? You know, that was a bit much.
Yeah, it drew a lot of attention.
Yeah,
to you.
Certainly did.
Absolutely. And but it was a continuation of your success story, which continued with the Book of Souls and the tour in 2015, which was a little overshadowed, of course, with the cancer diagnosis with Bruce. So
Right.
luckily he got healthy afterwards because Iron Maiden can't be stopped, as we all know. But still, how did it affect you at this point of time?
Yeah, it was a real sideswipe. That was. It was. I think we cancelled one tour because Bruce had to get treatment. You know, and that's it. It was go away, get yourself better. You know, and he did that. I mean, I don't know much about. Well, I didn't know much about cancer back then, but I think the mental attitude is very important, and Bruce he's not the sort of guy to feel down or sorry for himself. At least you won't see that. So I thought if anyone could beat it, he can. You know. So, but it took a lot, but he did it, and came back incredible.
He came back, you came back, and the shows got bigger and bigger with the Legacy of the Beast and also the Future Past tour, which kind of,
oh my God, yeah.
at least in my head, and I think the head of a lot of fans, kind of line up together. Also because the pandemic came in between and made the Legacy of the Beast tour even longer than you all planned, and the St. Kotzen tour went to the Future Past tour, which also was look back, but also on the new album. Yeah. So do you think Iron Maiden managed to use the pandemic in a creative way and got even bigger and better in this time, maybe?
I don't know really. It was it's thinking back now is bizarre. I think we were all locked up in our houses. I don't know how it was in Germany, but you had lockdown in England. You're only supposed to go out for an hour at a time to do exercise. You know, you couldn't do anything. It was you really had to set your mind to that situation. A lot of people went crazy. A lot of people became alcoholics or whatever, but I don't know how it affected the band. I guess we just knew it. You hope you adapt. If these terrible things happen, but for some reason the human spirit or whatever, you adapt, and then it becomes your reality, and then you move forward. I suppose it's the same with the band. You just carry on when you can.
Yeah. And you carried on, and as I said, the shows became even bigger, and the show elements and effects are
look great
bigger than ever.
Love all that.
And then we come to the quite current developments, which is the goodbye of Nicko McBrain. He quit for health reasons.
Yeah.
How did you cope with it, or are still coping with it, maybe?
It's never going to be the same. Obviously, Nick was a massive part. He's a big personality. It would never be the same. But he was unfortunate. He had a stroke, and it just physically, there's nothing he could do about it. Really, he tried. We all tried to help him. I think the Maiden drumming gig is one of the hardest, I think, physically. For 2 hours live, you've got to be really, really on the front foot, And he did great to get through those tours. It was quite amazing. A tribute to him, really. And he was incredible over the years. A lot of people loved him. Well, we all loved him, but we still do. And he'd always be a part of a band, even now. So very sad, but
Yeah, but it's continuing with Simon Dawson on drums.
Yeah, Simon's come in, and he knows that Nick was a massive part of it. But Nick, gave him his blessing and said, wished him luck. you know, and he said to me, I still talk to him, he said, "You good luck for the tour," and, you know, everything. Because he still wants the band to do well, because he still feels like he's a bit of a part of it, and he is really. So, yeah, but it's nice to keep the music alive, you know. I think that's almost, it's bigger than all of us, really, I think, you know, it's to get out there and keep that thing, whatever it is, out there and going, you know.
Absolutely. And, well, you kept music alive during the pandemic, not only with Iron Maiden, but also with your new, not solo project, but with Richie Kotzen. With Kotzen project, which you started during the pandemic. So was it, I think it was important for you to show this other musical side of your style.
It actually didn't start during the pandemic.
Okay.
No, it started before. Because I remember writing with Richie, and we were making jokes about this new virus coming out, you know, but nothing had been done then. There was no lockdown, there was no new laws. But we started before lockdown, because we became friends, because I moved to the west coast of America, or part-time anyway. A lot of musicians out there, became friendly with Richie, we were jamming, we liked the same sort of stuff. Well, at least we cross over on sort of kind of 70s hard bluesy rock, Bad Company, that sort of Pie, Deep Purple, you know. So we started, someone suggested, my wife actually suggested, why don't we write together? And I love what Richie's solo work, I think he's a great singer and everything. So we sat down and write, and by the end of the first day we had 3 songs, and you never know. I've sat down with people and it just doesn't click, but with Richie it clicked. We both had the same sort of vision, I think. We both were singing, which is unusual. I mean, he's probably technically better singer than me, but for some reason our voices work really great together. And when we wrote, we just bounced off each other, guitar, everything. So it's a win-win for me, you know. And it's something I'm at my happiest when I'm being productive. I love playing music, so it's nice to do something in downtime, you know. Mm-hmm. And I think it's got something to offer. Not many people are doing what we're doing, so, and we seem to have found a fan base as well. Mm-hmm. So it's I'm really happy about that, and you know, I'm happy that we're going to be doing it live as well next year, 26, and I think we're doing 4 shows in Germany. So looking forward to that.
Are you in a different state of mind being on stage with Smith Kotzen than with Iron Maiden, or is it the same? Well, it is the same focus, but is it the same like adrenaline or whatever? Or?
It's different because I've got the microphone now, so I can. And I've always kind of supposed to have been a front man in bands, you know, growing up. But I was never a real natural front man in the way you talk to the audience. Some people have the gift, but with SK, I seem to have, it just seemed to click when I went on stage. I felt very comfortable talking to the audience. I tell them about the songs, what the song's about, you know, and I was just in my element really, and I felt I was, you know, communicating with the audience and making that bridge between the band and the audience and bringing them into the songs, and it was just a natural thing. Whereas before I used to stress about what I was going to say between songs, or and try and you know, write a script almost. But this is completely natural. I just go on stage and I'm just this, you know. It just feels good. So I try and convey that to the audience. So in that sense, it's a little bit different. But that's kind of carried over into Maidens, and I feel a bit more looser with Maiden now, and a bit more, you know, happy-go-lucky.